Hey, what's going on, guys? Joe with OMGRC here. So today, gonna go ahead and tackle the motor mount for the shredder. This was something I had promised you guys I was gonna do, and today is the day. I'm gonna go ahead, and it has everything stock in there except for the electronic speed controller, just because of the fact that I was running this complete stock setup other than the electronic speed controller on 6S, and the motor took it, but for how long, I don't know. I've only ran this thing not even 5 times yet, to be honest with you guys. So as far as any kind of jumps and bashing and durability, I don't know about, but it did hit a pole, not a pole, it hit a mailbox on the side of it, and well, nothing broke. The only thing that you saw in the video was the phone go flying because it was mounted on top. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started, and we do have the Leopard here as well that I might go ahead and put back in. It did get scratched all up with the previous motor mount, or the one that's stock in there. It's horrible because it's just a round tube, and it has a heat sink, and it's what holds the motor in. And we want to go ahead and try this motor mount. So let me go ahead and show you that. So just in case you guys want to pause it, I'll put a link in the description anyhow. But anyway, that BS803-022. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. Take a look underneath this, underneath the body here. And move that out of the way. And then zoom up a little bit here. Alright, so you can see as far as this motor mount currently that's in there, we're going to go ahead, like I said, we're going to replace it with this motor mount. So, right there. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to time lapse this one. So that way I'm not going step by step. I'm going to have to remove the motor. I'll get that out of the way and then make sure everything fits in securely. When it comes to, I'll take this off. I'll take basically that whole bridge off of there, the spur gear and everything like that. That way I can make sure I'm going to have a good fitment here, because I'm going to have to take that stuff off anyway just to get this motor mount in. Just so you guys know, as far as that motor mount goes, so that's how it was. It's got a little bit of damage because of the fact that, well, I was trying to use it before on the other Leopard motor. So anyway, just so you guys have a close-up of what that motor mount looks like, there you have it. So let's continue tearing this thing apart and trying to get that motor mount in there. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and take this upper piece off. I just rock it kind of back and forth. Get one side loosened up, lift up the other side. Get that off of there. Now, of course, yours might not be like this just because of the fact that, well, I have other wires going across it. So that's that on that. We'll go ahead and stick that over there. Here's the one that's in question. Will it work? So this is the stock one that's here. And here's our aftermarket one. Well, not aftermarket, it's just a different one right there. As far as that triangle goes, that one's higher and one's lower. So they're not equal, meaning that something's going to have to change. Also, that little nub that's there too, I'm going to have to see what's going to happen with that. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and check that. Alright, so I want to show you how the old one goes in. You can see here as far as your holes go, you have 3 here. One's just a centering nub that's there on right here. But you notice that there's 2 holes that are here too. And that works out great, because since this one here is shorter, so you can obviously right there you can see that one's shorter, the new one, but because that screw hole is already there, it works perfect. Also, there's a hole right here. It wasn't used, but it was like it was already meant to be. Only thing that wasn't meant to be was, well, that little centering piece that's there. It is a little bit bigger, so what I need to do is kind of just drill it out, hone that hole out a little bit bigger, so that way this little alignment, it'll fit in there. I don't want to actually take that little nub off of there just because it's going to keep everything more or less centered, but I want to go ahead, I'll modify it just by drilling that out just a little bit. It's not going to hurt nothing. So let me go ahead and do that. Alright guys, so I went ahead and cut that, actually made that little hole a little bit wider, 11/64 drill bit. That's what I used. Could go with something a little bit smaller, but that's the one I had available. So, and it really It just has this little tiny wiggle in it. Doesn't really matter. Here's the thing. I just want to let you guys know. You see the hole here? That little drive cup fits right in there. No problems on that. But on the new one, that is a problem. All right, guys. So there's no, I don't know of any workaround. Maybe once I post this video or so and someone would have said, oh, you could have done it this way. I don't think there's any other way because, well, if you have these screws that are here, you got to undo that, and there's a pin that goes through this little, I'll call it like the cup that's there. Anyway, you can't, yeah, it's like that's not going to work. You can't do that because this is going to be blocking it. So anyway, you got to do this. That's the only thing I can think of at this point in time. If there was any other way, I will let you know, or you guys can post a comment down below. So anyway, that's what I'm going to go ahead and do is make this hole about the size of that one there so I can get this thing through. Alright, success when it came to, I had to use a rubber mallet to get this bearing back in. So I just tapped that in because it was a little bit difficult to get in there. I want to make sure that it's seated in there properly. So that's what I did on that part of it. There's the other side of it. Anyway, it came out pretty good, but you know, it came out with what the tools that I had when it came to, well, I didn't have a drill bit that was as big, like probably like a 1/2 inch. So what I ended up doing was just using a smaller drill bit and kind of just honing around it and then cleaning it up with a Dremel. So anyway, that's what I did. You guys, if you have access to better tools or the correct tools, more power to you. That's what I have, so that's what I'm using. Anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get this all stuff back installed, and then we'll go ahead and see if we can get that leopard motor in there a little bit closer to the gear. So, I know some of you guys said that this motor mount would work. And it's becoming a little, not so much a challenge, but it's like, where do you stop? Okay, we had to drill out. Yeah, I mean, there was already a hole there. There's already a hole for some of this stuff. And there's a little bit to it. But if you try to mesh this thing completely down, this didn't line up as far as, let's call it the bridge, like I said. That one was off a little bit. Then also, because once I screwed this motor mount to the plate, well, it doesn't have as much clearance apparently as the plastic one, therefore the gear wouldn't move. It was just stuck. It was rubbing on the bottom here, and they actually have it pressed in as far as on this chassis here, so it's not like an exposed gear. So if it was exposed, then that would be one less thing, and then of course the top would have another issue in itself. So I'm gonna work on that because, well, that's another issue. So I'm trying to make it so you guys can get in here, do it, and not have to have all these problems. Alright guys, I was able to, well, I found these. I have 2 of them. You can kind of see those. They seem to be about the same size as what I need as far as that gap. Again, I don't know, yeah, other guys said that, you know, the only thing they said it was something about a hole or a tab or something like that. I'm not sure if I'm having all the problems or not. Maybe you guys will have better luck with it. But I'm going to have to use a little shim, and that's what I'm using here. I'm going to go ahead and cut those. I have like 4 spots I have to use it at, so that way I put down, you know, evenly as far as when I go and tighten up all these screws. I might have to put a little bit longer screws in. I'm not 100% sure. Maybe able to get away with what I have in there. I'm going to have to put some Loctite in there. Anyway, just want to let you guys know about that as well. So let's continue on. Try it, but you do need to put a spacer. So, and as far as spacer size, I don't have any kind of way of exactly telling you on that one. You're just going to have to find something on your own on that part of it. So yeah, I would say that as far as a scale of trying to do this on your own, well, again, just depends on how inclined you are when it comes to coming up with finding solutions, more or less. And that's kind of what I do anyway. It may not always be the best solution, but it's going to be something to get the job done one way or another. And so I don't give up easy at all when it comes to, well, this is a hobby, and I like the tinkering part of it anyhow. But you would maybe say, well, why would you want to use that motor mount instead of the one that came with it? You know, oh, if I'm running it on a 4S, why do I need to have that motor mount? Is there any benefits to it? I would say this motor mount, well, because I haven't even got a motor in there as of yet, and I'm just kind of talking about, I think that just stripped or whatever, that plastic. Anyway, when it comes to, yeah, the benefits of it, well, the benefit would be for me, You can get a fan on there too. I might be able to put a little bit different motor in there, maybe because the fact that, well, that little heatsink slash motor mount was an issue as far as getting any closer, because it would hit right up against the wall of this chassis brace, and that motor mount was thick, and that in itself left me not to get even closer. So there's already that benefit there. Now as far as getting the motor in here, well, we're going to find out about that here in just a second, why I'm kind of talking about this. I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to grab the Leopard. Alright guys, here's where I'm at with it. Leopard, perfect. I'm happy with it. I'm using a 12 tooth pinion gear because when I put the Leopard in the first video, which got a lot of hits on that one, I was using the 18 tooth pinion gear. Not good. Now I'm using a 12 tooth. That's better. Now because this is a 2000 kV motor that I put in there, I probably would have went with like an 1800. Really should have done something like that. But anyway, not gonna look back on that. I'm just gonna go ahead and say at least I'm running a 2000 kV motor and then a 12 tooth pinion gear. That's the stock one anyhow, just so you guys know. So I'm gonna get a lot of torque. I'm gonna get more power. Also, this thing's gonna be faster on 4S than on the stock 1300 kV motor. Why? Well, this is a higher kV and I'm still running the same pinion, so I should be faster. Should be over 40 miles an hour just on, maybe I'll be over 40, who knows. So that's what I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to do a run with this. It's going to be another video because this one definitely was long, just going through all the modifications that needed to be done. And right now in Florida, it is raining / our snow, for this time. So it's cool outside, but also, yeah, it's just raining. This stuff's not waterproof. Anyway, I'll get it on a dry day, and let me see if we can do kind of a speed run. See how fast this thing goes with this one. Maybe we'll actually hit. It'd be cool if we could do like 60 miles an hour or something like that. I might have to bump the gear up, but you know what? Even if it did like 50 something on a 6S, if it did like around 50 miles an hour on a 6S, cool. I'm cool with that. I don't need it to be a speed run car, but I know these tires are going to balloon because they do that anyway when I'm running on a 6S with the stock battery or stock motor. Sorry. So I will have another one of those up. I'm going to try to get it done this week anyway when it comes to doing a run with that. So stay tuned for that one. But anyways, as always, if you guys are new here, consider subscribing. Also, check out OMGRC.com for all your hobby goodness. Until next time, this is Joe with OMGRC. You guys take care. Later.